The Victoria Mxenge housing project is a wonderful example of a grassroots initiative together with government housing policy. It is noteworthy that the initiative came from women in the townships. A quarter of South Africa's population still lives in the shacks of townships. They are the remnants of the apartheid system. In 1991, there was an important international conference in Johannesburg at which experiences about Indian cooperative systems, the Stockwell's savings associations, were exchanged. Initially, there were 12 women in Khayelitsha who began to develop this system to build their own houses. Each of these women had the task to winning another 5 women over to this idea, and so until there were around 300 persons. Eventually, groups of 20 women each were formed. Every day, each of these participants gave a contribution that they could save into a common fund, with exact records being kept for each person in recording books. All of this was still in Khayelitsha, where everyone lived in tiny shacks. From 1993 to 1997, after years of group formation, cooperation, and years of learning how to build, how to construct, and forming associations, they were able to get startup loans from NGOs and also approach the church to get land for them to build on.
Sharing of those experiences with other countries who experience the same, like the Asian countries, which we met early 90s. And we learn more about savings, using savings and loan as a center of our attraction. By so doing then, it gives us a strength and make us more stronger to focus on what we want.
And finally, government support to build these houses themselves. Money they got was only spent on building materials, not for companies. The women learned everything themselves in groups, pressing the tiles, raising the walls, and even constructing the roofs. In this way, a total of 5,000 houses, unbelievable, 5,000 houses were built in Philippi, an area within Cape Town, until 2017. This process was so successful because women's learning through storytelling was traditionally their own way.
So after we acquired that piece of land, we've been able to start building our own houses as women. By so doing then, we think that we achieved a lot. And the entire country, they've been using this Victoria Mxenge as a case study.
Over the time, however, the learning processes became systematized and thus alienated from women again. A sense of professionalism arose, even leading to the entry of small companies that eventually took over the construction as a whole. It was argued that this would be faster. In 2017, however, all state subsidies finally went into the hands of construction companies, some of which themselves sank again into corruption. The administration wanted to speed up the process, but the funds disappeared. Finally, the residents' identification with their newly acquired houses also disappeared. A lot can be learned from these many years of experience, the successes, how it all started, the ingredients of all these ideas, and at last the problems, they brought it to an end. Maybe we can start with a big conference again, but it also takes the extraordinary personalities of these women, such as Patricia Mxenge and many others like her, who made it all possible.